Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Voxel and we're back with another episode of Create Above and Beyond. Last time we got our lumber mill set up, and in between episodes, I went ahead and I put some water wheels behind each of these walls, and we got all of our little basic workshop items automated and powered. So now we don't have to sit here and hand crank everything. Today, we are going to be doing Bedrock's Bounty. We are going to make a contraption to automatically mine cobblestone, andesite, and a couple of other things at the bottom of the world. I do know exactly how I want it to look. I went ahead and I will show you in a little bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up using the schematic handing to place it down, but I built a little path. This is it over here. So right now what we have is this is our crane. Now this is it's mostly for decoration. This is where we're gonna kind of have the belts going back in here. But once we get to chapter 2 and we're able to unlock a couple new machines, this pulley system is gonna raise and lower this automatically into the ground to go all the way down to bedrock. Right now it doesn't work because what we need is, I believe, a sequenced gear shift, and for that we need brass machines, which we can't make yet. So for today, this is just for decoration. In a test world, I tried to figure out how to get this to actually load and unload, and I couldn't get it to work. I'll show you when we get over there. But for today, what we got to do is we got to mine down to bedrock, and we got to get this thing taken care of. Now, to do that, we need to drill down straight into the earth, and I went ahead and got the materials we needed. The only other thing we did in between episodes is I went around the world and got a couple of each sapling, just so we can have wood coming in from each of the different trees. That's how we built this, with a little bit of birch. And then I also took forever, but I found a swamp, and we got ourselves some super glue, which everybody knows is super important, because we need to be able to glue our contraptions together. So what we're going to come down here and do now is we are going to come in to the middle, right above us. This is the bottom of the elevator shaft. So what we're going to do is we want to put this here, and we want to glue everything. Come on. Nope. Okay. So we need 25 of these, because I want to dig a 5x5 hole. Nothing super crazy. And then once we get down there, we need to dig out an area for our machine. Well, dig an area out for our machine, and then also find the right place to put our machine, because the whole point of this is we need to have a cobble generator on top of bedrock, and if it's on top of bedrock, then it can also generate andesite. If it's not on bedrock, we only get cobblestone, which we don't need. So once we get down there, I'm going to dig around for a bit and try to find an ideal place to set us up. But for now, we are going to do this. And then we also want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chests will probably do. That'll probably do us. And then if we attach this here, okay, now it's attached. So if we that was bad. Okay, this is solid now. Yes. Okay. We want one more thing, because it's gonna dig all the way down, and we need a pickaxe to be able to get back up. Because if we get stuck down there, we are going to be in trouble. I don't want to put ladders down, because that hole that we're digging is going to be the exact size of our elevator. So I don't want ladders along the side, because we're not going to use that to get up and down, unless we're using the elevator, obviously. But what we can do now is we should be able to just stand here. And then it dug. And then if we check, one of these chests should have 25 stone. So now we are just going to sit here and we are going to go straight down until we get to bedrock. And then once we're down there, I will show you what we got cooking up. All right, and we are back. We are in our creative test world here where I've been testing various machines just to see how things could possibly work. And I want, oh, that's for later. And this is what we put down at the bottom of the world. It's pretty cramped down there, but this is essentially what we've got down there. This, in a different shape, this is just like perfect world. This is how I have it laid out so I can see everything. But the reason we're not seeing it in our regular world is because we're at the bottom. There's not a perfect line of bedrock everywhere, so it's just kind of take what you can get. But if we pop this, we have a clutch, and what that'll do is that is going to attach to a lever, so we can turn the whole thing on and off as we want. And later what we can do is we could add a redstone link to this to turn it off when, say, like a specific storage is full. And what this is right here, we have ourselves a timer. So when this is spinning, it's sending a timer up through here into here to only activate on that timer. And what this is going to do here is this goes up and then it comes down with the drills it, comes back up, deposits into chutes, which is going to go down into a barrel that we are going to have on a belt system. And that belt system is going to go all the way up from bedrock, all the way up to a bubble elevator that's going to lead right to the bottom of our crane where we're going to have a belt system to store everything. So that's kind of the whole thing in action. So if I go over like this, we see a break, and then we see, there it goes. And then it's going to go into there. You can see it shoot up. Here it comes. There it goes. Woo! And then what we're going to have at the top here is we're going to have an encased fan pulling the item onto the belt, which will then store it. And you can see here, this is kind of what we're going to go for with our storage system. This was our elevator. This was kind of like the idea I had, where it's going to be on a sequenced gear shift and a timer. But the problem that I kept running into is if I were to take like 64 of these, right, and then it's going to go down there, it's loading them up, but it wasn't unloading them. But that time it did, which is not what happened before. Hang on, wait a second. Did this whole thing get fixed? Is my bubble elevator pointless now? Let's drop this. There we go. Oh, let's see how many come out here. Okay, so it's going to go up. It's going to go down. You see here, this is loading. Oh, did I have this filter set wrong? Did I have it set for a whole stack? I think that might have been what the problem was. Oh, it didn't even go all the way up that time. See, it's kind of finicky. We have a lot of problems with our little test world. Nothing super crazy, but it's gonna go. It's gonna go up. And then it does drop off. And then will it load more? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Yep. Okay, so maybe this is gonna work. Maybe we can just do this instead of a bubble elevator. The problem is this right here. The sequence gear shift requires a brass machine, which we don't have yet. So that actually could be the solution now that I realized that I'm just an idiot and it was a filter problem. But long story short, this is what we've built downstairs. It's a little bit smaller and it's not as big, not as clunky. And we're just, this is our little test world. We will see it again, don't you worry. But for now, let's get back to our regular world and get the sorting system taken care of. All right, so we are back. This is what our little andesite cobblestone mine looks like here. We have a crane tower with two little huts on either side, and in the middle here is where our little elevator is going to go. And like I showed you before, this is not functional yet, but it will be. Eventually, this will go all the way down and then all the way back up. And if we can get it to work correctly, it'll go all the way down, fill up, and then come all the way up and unload. So for now, though, we are going to go under the assumption that it is not being used. And over here, this is where our bubble elevator is all the way down to bedrock. And so what we're going to do is these are just andesite encased shafts. This is, you can just put andesite casings on a shaft and it makes it look a little bit nicer. And what we have is, this is a gearbox here. Technically it's a vertical gearbox, and it goes all the way down underneath and it comes around to right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop a windmill bearing on there, and then we need just any piece of, we need a wood. Get a nice log. Actually, we could probably put an andesite casing on it. That would look good, right? Nope. I think I did something wrong. Okay, so that works. This is turning ever so slowly, but what we want is we want these on, we want them to go this way. And I'm trying to figure out, the best way to do that. Nope. Nope. Interesting. Let's see what the best way to do this is. Maybe a fence. Let's try that. Good news, fence did the trick. Now the key is going to be not hitting the ground. Sail light blocks 0. A minimum of 8 are required. Does that do it? Yep, just got to stick them together. Okay, so that is working. This is not going to be the fastest thing in the world, but it will get the job done. That is not it. All right, we're gonna have to get. We'll figure this out. Let's see. Give me 1 second. We're gonna try to revamp this a little bit. All right, so we got it figured out. We got it. It was the fences that needed to be on it. What we did is we just raised it up more so we could fit more sails. And with that, this is spinning quite a bit faster. So what we want to do now is we want to have a shaft here with a belt there, and then a shaft not there. Where's my this? We want this one right here. And then we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this will feed into there, and what we want to do is we want our stupidoo. We want an encased chain drive right here, so those are spinning the same direction. We need a vertical gearbox right here, like that. And what happens if we just chain drive this as it is? That is going the wrong direction, which means we'll want a gearbox. And we got to go grab our fan real quick, so let me go grab that from storage. All right, and we got it here, so let's pop that down and see what it's doing. It is sucking it in, which is fantastic. Now let's do gearbox, gearbox, shaft, shaft. No dice, and we just need a gearbox. And now that is pulling everything up here, and everything going into storage, which is fantastic. And then what we can do too is we can just encase all this so it looks nice. There we go. And perfect. And that's our little storage setup just for this little area. Eventually, we're going to want to take most of what's coming out of these and move them other places just because we can get different things from each piece. But for now, we are going to be able to get the automated andesite cobblestone that we need. The next thing is going to be the other side over here. We're actually going to have storage for just a regular cobblestone generator, because if we put cobblestone into a crushing wheel, which we can't unlock yet, but once we do, we can get iron nuggets. So that'll be an iron farm, and then red sand, I think we can get from one of the other items that we get, maybe granite, and red sand gets us gold. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, dump all this off, grab one more funnel, and then turn it all on. All right, and here we go. It is working. And what I did when I made a quantify key, and what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that we can see how much is actually inside. But this is going. What we want to do is we're going to need to kind of tidy this place up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer, throw some decorations around, at least in this area, and try to get this to go not faster, but we definitely want it to not go over there. Like, look at how fast it just shoots up. If anything, we might be able to put a chute there, and then I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna see. But that is it for this episode, you guys. Next we can officially say that this has been automated and we have a way to get it up. Next time we're gonna try to figure out kelp and sand, and then once we have that figured out, then we can combine all of it to get kinetic mechanisms. But as always, I am Voxel Twig, and I will catch you all next time.